Hi, my name is Tori, and today I want to talk about the TESOL certificate, mainly about its course Teach English Now, Second Language, Listening, Speaking, and Pronunciation. Let's get started. So number one, let's talk about the content. So the course lasts 6 weeks. It has a lot of lectures, a lot of tests, and in the end, you will have to write a lesson plan which has the listening, speaking, and pronunciation tasks. So let me just specify. So if I'm not mistaken, during the second week, you need to write a full lesson plan which contains only the listening activities. And on the third week, you need to edit your lesson plan by deleting some of the listening activities and adding some of the speaking activities. So basically, every week you are editing your lesson plan. You're not creating a new one. And on the fifth week, you need to delete some of the listening or speaking activities and add some pronunciation activities. And on the sixth week, you need to make something like a video of your lesson, of your teaching. So let's talk about the content more. So this course has a lot of information, so be ready to take notes. So let me talk about some of the things. So the course talks about the challenges to listening for learners, such as blendings, pragmatic reductions, etc. I won't tell you all of that. If you want to, you can just check out the course yourself. I will leave the link to the course in the description of the video. So where was I? So the thing I liked, they said one phrase that students need to practice and use the language, and I think it's a brilliant phrase. It's like, they had something similar, like if you don't use the language, you lose it. So it's a great piece of advice. They also talked about various listening strategies for learners. Something like you need a request for clarification, elaboration, and stuff like that. They also talked about things like what makes listening easy. And I love the thing about recording devices, because when I was a student, sometimes I was tired and I wasn't really into listening to the lectures. So sometimes I would just record it and listen at home if I have time. So that's also a great piece of advice. So let's move forward. They also talked about things like top down and bottom up. So it's something like listening for gist, basically general information, and listening for details. And they talked about pre-listening, listening, and post-listening parts. Okay, the next thing they talked about speaking. And what I liked is that they talked about the 5-hour problem and the problem with open class. So open class is great, but you don't need to spend a lot of time on it, because basically with open class, students don't get enough time to speak and interact. So it would be better to put them in pairs or in a group of 3. They also talked about things like affective factors and let's just say interaction and interlocutor fact. With interlocutor fact, that's great that they mentioned it here. So interlocutor fact, it's basically who you're speaking with influences your speaking. And I think I can relate, because when I took my Cambridge Advanced exam, I had my partner. I didn't know her at the time, so we were complete strangers. And we didn't have, let's just say, a warm conversation or something. And I just think that the examiner could feel this. And that was me sharing my personal experience. Also, they talked about types of speaking. Let me just read it, because I don't know it by heart. So imitative, intensive, responsive, and interactive speaking. They also talked about the silent period. I think they mentioned the silent period in the first or the second course. Also, they talked about various strategies for speaking. All right, and they talked about the pronunciation, like what makes pronunciation hard. Again, paralinguistic reductions. If you want to, I will leave the link to this course in the description and you can check it out. Okay, they also talked about the barriers to pronunciation, such as first language, age, language ego, which is also something new for me. They talked about intonation, stress, innate phonetic ability, and they also taught about how to teach pronunciation, basically compare, identify, and produce. So, like I said, this course has a lot of information. Okay, the next thing I wanted to pay your attention was the test. So pay attention to the details, because otherwise it would be very difficult to pass the test. And in order to pass the test, you need to have something like 80%. So the thing with the lesson plan was a bit difficult because I didn't have something like a role model. But you can Google some of the examples of lesson plan, and with micro lesson, I also didn't have a role model. I had no idea what to do, so I just searched on YouTube, like basically Micro Lesson Coursera, and you will have a lot of examples how to record yourself and how to make a micro lesson, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. Okay, and the next thing I want to mention, so I picked an anime cartoon for my micro lesson. By the way, if you want to take a look at that, I will also leave the link in the comment. I wouldn't say that is great. I'm not very proud of this lesson in particular, but at least I gave it a shot. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not a professional teacher, I'm just a beginner, but I'm trying. And the next thing I want to mention is about the WTF students. So what do I mean? Some students don't upload anything. So each course has something like a peer review. So at the end of each week, you need to grade your colleagues. And some of the students didn't upload anything, or there were some people who just wrote, "Please grade me," and they didn't upload anything. And I didn't know what to do, so basically I just had to write them in the comment like, "Sorry, I can't grade you because you didn't upload anything." So, yep, I was a bit irritated because of that. And the last thing I want to mention is about the feedback. So during like this course, I had some nice feedbacks, not just good, great, awesome. So mostly people wrote like, "I like this, this, and this, but I didn't like this and this." So in general, it wasn't just, you know, ordinary answers. So I like that because I got proper feedback. So that was awesome. Yep, I guess I covered everything. So if you have any further questions, like please write in the comments. I will answer them if I know the answer. And I guess that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I will have more videos coming, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, thank you for watching again. Bye bye.